Hop out the back with a mop and I knock off the back of his top. Whether you lacking or not, shotters gon' come to your home and you getting whacked at the spot. Send a little bitch to the crib, you know that little hoe come back with a drop. Hit him in his head top, getting knocked. Smoke on BK, dead op. Boy on deck and he reckless, tryna get him wet, spin a check on the necklace. Ops in the jam get section, try to get sent PC for protection. I don't.
Hey yo, what up, squad? Hey man, welcome back to HOODROK Entertainment, bro. You already know what's up. I'm your boy Rock One. Welcome to the realest, dopest reaction channel on YouTube. And bro, today we're doing something a little bit different, bro. So I've already uploaded 3 videos already, bro. Alright, it's lunchtime here in New Zealand. I've already uploaded 3 videos. This will be the 4th. And it was 3 music videos, bro. Fire. One from Sweden, one from Poland, and one from Italy. And damn, the European hip-hop scene's going off, that's all I can say. But anyway, on to this. Top 15 most haunted places on earth. I've done a few of these videos before, and always blazing, bro. So yo, if you haven't, go and get something to smoke. This is if you smoke. If you smoke, go get something to smoke. Go get your bong. Go get your Phillies. Go get your blunt, whatever. And yo, blaze up with me, cause I'm telling you, bro, these things are so much better when you're high. You know what I mean? And yo, a lot of people don't believe in ghosts and stuff like that. No, I do myself. I believe in ghosts. I'm not a real suspicious. I'm not a really superstitious person. I mean, do you know what I mean? I'm not really superstitious, but I do believe in spirits, bro. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get into this, bro. Shout out everyone for all the support, bro. I appreciate all the support. I see you in the comment section. Keep dropping your requests in the comments, or get at me on Instagram. Don't forget to follow me before you send a message. There's so many people whose messages are sitting there unread, unopened, because they're not following. You know what I mean? So show some love, and I'll show some love back. You know what I'm saying? So yo, I've been getting that question a lot. Where are you from, bro? Like, which country are you from? And yo, I'm from New Zealand. You can read that in the little brackets down there. I'm tapping in from New Zealand, bro. Alright, I know that to everyone else, the New Zealand accent, the Australian accent, the British accent all sounds the same, but it's not. It's kind of like how Chinese, Japanese, Korean, it all sounds the same to me. But I can guarantee you they don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Same as European. All the European countries sounds the same to us. But I guarantee you don't think that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying use because we're at 14,000 subscribers, bro, and about 9,000 are from Europe. So yo, that's us. Let's get into this, bro. I ain't gonna mess around much longer. This is 15.5 minutes, bro. So let's go.
Islands, prisons, and museums. It's time to dive into 15 of the most haunted places on this earth. Viewer discretion is advised.
On this earth? What's the top 15 for that earth?
Of the most haunted places.
It's a bit too specific, you know what I mean?
Viewer discretion is advised. Number 15, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. In the early 1900s, this hospital was built in Louisville, Kentucky, for patients that were victim of the haunting disease of the time, tuberculosis.
Bro, is it me, or how come everywhere that's got some creepy shit going on, or some creepy things going on, I gotta watch my language, bro, I keep getting demonetized, but, how come, why is it that every creepy place or town or something has got Ville on the end of it? Something Ville. You know what I mean?
Tuberculosis. Many people died in this hospital, both from the disease and the inhumane tactics that were tested on patients to attempt to cure tuberculosis.
Crazy.
The death count got so high that the hospital installed a body chute, which is, as you can imagine, where the bodies of the dead victims were thrown. Waverly Hills shut down in 1961, and since then it has been the site of many ghost TV shows, as well as a haunted reputation by the community and the world. Number 14. Helltown. Welcome to the town.
We already know you don't want to go there. Number 14. Don't go there, town. Number 14. Don't come here, town.
Town of Boston, Ohio. Otherwise known as the end of the world and Helltown.
Well,
This city has next to nothing going for it. In 1974, the state of Ohio made that city a national park because of its shockingly low population and history. The small community of people living there etched insults into their walls to show the injustice of them being kicked out of their homes. The state later dropped the plans of the national park, leaving the abandoned, mysterious town up for tons of...
So, he should have worded that right the first time. Because he said they turned it into a national park. Then the residents itched things in the walls and they abandoned the plans. So they didn't even turn it into a park in the first place. This guy.
Debate and legend. Legends, such as a ghost bus, a satanic church,
a ghost
and
bus.
a giant mutant python. The area around Boston, Ohio celebrates Python Day annually because of these legends.
But I heard that if you ever jump on a ghost bus, if you ever happen to just catch a ghost bus, like if you're out in the middle of nowhere and a ghost bus and you're lost, or you're hitchhiking and a ghost bus pulls up a bus, don't hop on it. Don't hop on it because you won't come back or some bullshit. I don't know, bro. Like I said, it's superstition, and I don't believe it because how did you find that out then if no one comes back? How did you find out? Like, you know what I mean? Did you ask the driver before you jumped on? You were like, he's like, if you jump on, you don't come back. Oh yeah, I'm good then, bro. I'll catch the next one. You know what I mean?
Number 13. Byberry Mental Asylum. This place was built in 1910 with the shambled scraps of what could be found after the World War I shortage of materials. The asylum didn't take long to fall apart, both economically and literally. The asylum was handed over to the state of Pennsylvania, but didn't end up...
Yeah, nah. You didn't look like you wanted to be there.
in an acceptable state until
Sad, bro.
1950.
No, it's sad, bro, looking at these pictures because these days you get so much better care. It's not the greatest care, bro. Like, healthcare, you know, being in mental institutes is not great anyway. But it's a hell of a lot better than it was back then, you know what I mean?
Through exploitation of inhumane living conditions and treatment of patients, most staff left the asylum in the 1980s. They set to demolish the building in 1991, but canceled the date upon finding millions of dollars in resources and materials inside, leaving the buildings abandoned until it was finally demolished in 2006 for a housing development.
Oh, you're kidding me. In 2006 for a housing development. I feel sorry for the cats that have to live there, bro. That's 2006. That's 16 years ago. Bro, there's got to be houses there already. Damn.
Number 12. Bangar Fort. Imagine a place so haunted that it actually became illegal to go to at night. Welcome to Bangar Fort in India.
Oh, bro, I've heard of this. I've heard of this place. I actually watched another video on this place. Ghost hunters that were there.
This place is unsure amongst people.
I think I reacted to it actually.
One of two stories. One being a king going to live there and dooming the fort with the angle of the shadows completely engulfing the fort. The other story being a magician falling in love with a princess at the fort. The magician attempting to trick the princess into loving him. The princess killing the magician. And the magician's final words cursing the fort. Since then, many...
So, I can almost guarantee that both those stories are probably partly correct. Alright? So it says a prince trying to get a princess to fall in love with him. The first story was a magician trying to get a princess to fall in love with him. The first story was a prince or a king or some shit like that, right? Or something like that. I'm guessing it was probably a royal person. And he was murdered by his wife. Or a maiden or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Or a lover or something.
Many people have recalled their unique and spine-chilling encounters at Bangar Fort. My computer even froze up, and I actually had to restart it when I was looking up the images. Number 11. The White House.
Update your computer.
Oh, the White House.
Update your
home
drive.
of the highest security, America's number one person, and ghost.
The White House.
Home of the highest security, America's number one person, and ghosts. Since the construction of the White House, there have been accounts from presidents, first ladies, and senators of hearing or seeing strange entities. The most notable case being the ghost of President Abraham Lincoln roaming the halls of the White House.
Wow.
Eleanor and Franklin Roosevelt both reported seeing tall, lanky figures in the Lincoln bedroom, which is now used as a study. Although no records show of anybody dying inside the White House, I would not be surprised if some presidents felt like they just didn't put in enough overtime in the job. Number 10. Monte Cristo. A pregnant caretaker being thrown over a balcony, a baby being dropped down the stairs, and a poor boy being burned to ash in his sleep. All of these events took place in the notorious Australian estate named Monte Cristo. This home was built in 1885 and has been
You already know, bro. I don't care, bro. If your house was built in the 1800s, someone's passed away in it. Whether it was natural, whether it was not, you know what I mean?
Transferring owners due to the unfortunate and suspicious demise of the owners, or the owners fleeing the home with fearful insanity. The current owners bought the house in 1963, and since then one of the owners has passed away, but one still remains. Olive Ryan claims that she has felt presences almost as commonplace to this point. One thing is clear about this estate. Too much has happened for it to be coincidental. Number 9. The Amityville House.
Here we go. That's what I mean. Ville. The name Ville, bro. How come every creepy town in America has got Ville on the end of that shit? You know what I'm saying?
The most widespread haunted house in history.
Yeah, and we all know about Amityville. How about Eminem's song? You know?
There have been tons of movies, books, and legends made upon the basis of this house.
Movies.
Formerly a house to hold Native Americans that were sick and insane, this home is notorious for the DeFeo Americans that were sick of this house. Formerly a house to hold Native Americans that were sick and insane.
Oh, bro, bring that house down, bro. Like, I hate any place that is being, solely for a certain race or solely for. I don't get into that, bro. Especially, you know what I mean? I don't get into that. I get into the cultural places because I'm very cultural myself, bro. We have our cultural places, and out of respect, you sort of follow guidelines and that with that stuff. But when you're building places to house strictly just these people segregating each other, bro, it's crap, bro. I don't mess with that. No wonder why this place is haunted, bro.
This home is notorious for the DeFeo killings in 1974, where Ronald, the son, shot and killed his father, 2 brothers, and sister. Ronald, who is still alive today, then claimed that ghosts had convinced him to commit the killings. Many years later, a couple, George and Kathy Lutz, purchased the home. The two claimed that paranormal anomalies had started to occur, and they were increasing in intensity and insanity. The family immediately fled, probably for the better, and contacted paranormal geniuses Ed and Lorraine Warren to investigate. They reported that the house was definitely in the hands of evil entities, and that none should ever dare enter the home for safety of themselves. Number 8.
So what, are we allowed to go in there, like? Or was it like, what the hell? Oh, you don't even need to tell me nothing about this place. You don't need to say nothing, bro. The picture sees it all, bro.
Island of the Dolls. Isla de las Muñecas, the Island of the Dolls. Off the coast of Mexico, you'll find the most bone-chilling island with an even more bone-chilling history. Don Barrera, the caretaker of the island at the time, found a young girl washed up, dead, on the shore. With her, a small doll. He hung the doll from a tree in memory of the girl. But from there, the story says that the ghost of the girl took over Don and made him find and hang more dolls from the trees, giving the island the creepy, morbid look. Then that little girl, along with apparently other little girls that had died around the world, found a safe haven in the Island of the Dolls. 50 years since finding the dead girl, Don Barrera was found dead himself in 2001 in the same place as the little girl. Number 7.
What? Oh my god, bro. That's crazy, bro. I don't know if it's the joint. Which, by the way, I've nearly finished, and I might need to roll another one because, damn, I'm hard as fuck, but... Oh, damn, I need to cut that swearing out. I'm probably going to cut that little bit out. Alright? If you saw that, I cut that little bit out because I was swearing. And I shouldn't be swearing, alright?
Stoll Cemetery. Named one of the 7 gateways to hell, Stoll Cemetery in Kansas is said to be the courtroom of Satan himself.
Oh, no way.
The legends revolve around a church that was built there in 1867 and was used until it was randomly abandoned in 1908. Since then, the walls started crumbling and the roof caved in. The destroyed church was then said to be used by Satanists, witch covens, and cults who would sacrifice animals so that this cemetery could become a gateway to hell someday. I guess they got what they wanted and worshipped. Number 6.
Fools.
Queen Mary Hotel. This 1,000-foot beast...
Yes. This was in another reaction that I did on a different scary videos thing that I did. Go check that out too. You're going to see that pop up at the end actually. You'll see a little playlist with the scary stuff and check it out.
Of a ship was finished and sailed in 1937. It was used as a luxury ship until World War II came around, and it turned into the ultimate battleship. Working flawlessly through the war, it was refurbished.
Yes. This was the bit that it didn't, I don't think it touched too much on the war stuff. But yeah, it did say that it was
into a luxury ship afterwards.
I remember.
But was rendered ill-suited for work and sailed its last in 1967, when it became a permanently docked hotel.
Yes, so that's what they mentioned on the other video. They mentioned a little bit about the war, and you know what I mean, and its time before, but they touched more on what he's about to touch on.
However, there are 45 reported deaths aboard the ship during the war, and many say that those spirits did not leave the ship, even now. Many horrific anomalies have taken place when tourists have boarded the ship. It currently sits, docked in Erie.
45? They didn't say that, I didn't know that. That's a lot of people, bro.
In Long Beach Harbor, California. Number 5. The Tower of London.
Ooh.
During its 900 years of existence, many faces have come into the Tower of London and not come out. Thomas Becket, one of the engineers building the tower, was killed by the grandfather of one of the kings. Arbella Stewart married royalty without proper permission and was placed in house arrest inside the tower until her untimely death in 1615. Queen Anne Boleyn was beheaded near the tower. These are three of the many, many stories surrounding death in this infamously historical building. Tons of people have come out of that tower claiming to have seen a ghost roaming around, following them, and even chasing them down the halls. It is safe to say that the Tower of London has blood engraved into its halls, and spirits enslaved into its halls. Number 4, Chatou de Chateaubriand. Constructed in the 11th century in France, Chatou has, like the Tower of London, held many horrific events. One occurring in 1252, when the king of Chatou left his wife behind for a crusade. After a year of not returning, he was announced dead, until he returned months later, causing his wife to literally die of shock in his arms. Along with other stories of betrayal, lies, and death, it is said that all of the victims that lie in Chatou now roam the halls of this giant castle.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Number 3, Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh, shit. This is during the day. Imagine walking up that hallway in the dark. Oh, bro. No, bro. Now, this is why I believe in spirits, right? Because I spent 17 years in prison. Been in nearly all the prisons in New Zealand. And we build more prisons faster than any other country on the planet, bro. Google that. You know what I mean? And we also imprison people faster than any other country in the world behind the US. Google that. But this is why I believe in spirits, because I've been in most of the prisons and I have had some kind of experience with the shit myself. I'm not going to go into all of that, but you know what I mean. I've been in some old
Built in
prisons,
1829 in Philadelphia, Eastern State Penitentiary was made for the worst of the worst. It held criminals such as Al Capone and was known for its spine-chilling, inhumane ways of discipline and torture. Let's talk about some of these methods, shall we? Cover your ears, children. One way included dunking inmates in a tube of freezing water, then hanging them outside in the blistering winter cold, which caused ice to form on and around the skin. Another was a chair that restrained limbs so tightly it often caused need for amputation. And finally, the hole. This was literally a giant black hole in which the disobedient inmates were literally thrown in and given...
Now, I spent some time in the hole. The longest time I served in the hole was a year and 2 months. It was a year and 2 months. It was 14 months, bro. Straight, right? And I can tell you now, bro, that we shouldn't even be calling it the hole, based on what I'm looking at. If that's where the term the hole come from, then now I was in paradise. I was in a mansion compared to that. Like, I mean, we weren't allowed books, we weren't allowed pen, paper. I literally had nothing, and it was dark. But that's about it. Damn.
Given no light, human contact, exercise, toilet, and were given just enough air and food.
Yo, that's a lie. Because I was allowed pen and paper, but only to write my letters, and I had to give the pen and paper back after that. You know what I mean? All that kind of shit. And I did have books, but the lights were shut out. As soon as it went dark, you couldn't read shit. You know what I mean?
To survive. The prison was closed in 1971 and has numerous accounts of echoing voices, shadowy figures darting around cells and walls, and some people have even reported seeing the faces of certain inmates when they would touch a cell or walk inside. Number 2. Poveglia. Welcome to Poveglia, a small island in the Venice Lagoon. This island has been a station of quarantine, a dumping ground for plague victims, and a mental hospital. It's like every horrific...
Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Yo, let's run that back.
Number 2. Poveglia. Welcome to Poveglia, a small island in the Venice Lagoon. This island has been a station of quarantine, a dumping ground for plague victims, and a mental hospital. It's like every horrific setting from this list on one small island. The area is long since abandoned now, and is overtaken by weeds. But, because of all the death that is on this island, it is believed that 50...
Look at this. I ain't even want to go. I ain't even bro. I'm not even going. Where is it? Venice? I'm not even going to Venice. I'm playing, yo. I'm playing.
The area is long since abandoned now, and is overtaken by weeds. But, because of all the death that is on this island, it is believed that 50% of the soil on this island is human ash. This island doesn't mess around with...
What? Nah, come on.
This island is... On this island, it is believed that 50% of the soil on this island is human ash.
I give up. Give up. Never mind the other. Never mind the other. Bro, and there's one worse. There's one worse. Oh my God, bro. If this is not the worst one, 50% human ash. If this is not the worst one, oh my God, bro.
This island doesn't mess around with teasing people that come over to visit the legend. There have been reports of figures choking tourists to the ground, throwing them down to make their heads hit large rocks, and even pushing them off the dock into the water. This island...
There's one worse. There's one worse. There's one worse than this. Yo, you should have been smoking your shit, bro, because I'm vibing out to this shit.
Choking tourists to the ground, throwing them down to make their heads hit large rocks, and even pushing them off the dock into the water. This island consists of an old bell tower, a station for organizing defense, a series of homes, and a mental hospital for those that did not cooperate with the rest of society. Number 1. Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum.
Bro. This is the one. This has to be the one, bro. Genocide Museum. This has to be the one.
Number 1. Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum. Tell me what kind of people would change a normal high school in Cambodia into a torture chamber. The Communist Party of Cambodia would. That's who. In 1976, Tuol Sve Pre High School became S21 prison, the site of the Cambodian genocide. 14,000 people entered that torture center, and 7 walked out. Think about that for a moment.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. What? I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the Holocaust victims. Rest in peace to all of them. Condolences to anyone who's affected by that, his family, friends, or anyone that was even touched by that. But this is crazy.
A moment. And 7 walked out. Think about that for a moment. If you were brought here, you had a 0.0005% chance or a 1 in 2,000 chance of leaving. That is literally insane. And add to it, they took photos of not just every single victim before death, but then after death. What happened here was genocide. And the place is now a museum to remember the 13,993 people that died in that building. People that have visited it now say that the building is constantly riddled with the ghosts of the men, women, and children that were brutally tortured and murdered inside of the cells and classrooms of the prison. And the man that...
You must... answer accordingly to my questions. Don't try to hide the facts by making read text just in there.
That ran this prison, a school teacher, is still alive today.
Why is he alive, bro? When I ask you to do something, you must do it right away without protesting. Don't, bro.
After literally years
You must
of
not
trials,
cry at all. Or electrification, you must not cry at all.
Bodie in court gave him life imprisonment with no appeal and no sentence deduction. Perhaps when that man goes to his grave, so will the spirits of the victims of S21. That was the top 15 haunted places on Earth. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like so I know.
Yeah, we're good, bro. Oh, when I said that there wasn't one, there couldn't have been one worse. Yeah, nah, there was. Yeah, nah, there was, bro. And I bet those sites with the death camps were and stuff like that, bro, and you know the Holocaust places, stuff like that, they'd be just as haunted, bro. Damn, crazy, bro. Yo, that was a dope video. That was a dope video, bro. And those places were definitely somewhere you don't want to go. Well, maybe you do. I ain't going nowhere near there. I don't have no reason to. I just stay well away, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't tempting no girls to F with me, bro. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, run the numbers up on this, bro. I hope you enjoyed, bro. I know it was long, but hey, that's what's up, bro. We just chill, we smoke, we watch. That's what's up. So yo, run the numbers up, hit the notification button, tap that like button, subscribe, bro. Stay safe, stay dangerous. I'm out. Peace.